All right, let's get right into it. We've all seen what generative AI can do, right? It creates these incredible images, writes amazing text. But what if it could do more? Today, we're going to look at this really exciting new frontier, using Gen AI not just to create stuff, but to actually help us understand complex data, visually.
And that really brings us to the big question here. We know AI can generate a piece of art from just a few words, but can that same tech be used to generate clarity? Can it create a chart or a graph that shows you a pattern you never would have seen otherwise? Something that gives you that genuine aha moment?
Well, it turns out the answer is a huge yes. Researchers have even given this new field a name, GenAI for Viz. And it's all about using AI to completely level up how we create, see, and even interact with data visualizations.
Now, to really get why this is such a big deal, you have to remember how things used to be. For the longest time, making a good chart was, well, it was hard. You needed complex software, you had to follow these expert design rules, you were basically stuck inside a very rigid, predefined system.
But GenAI just completely changes the game. See, instead of following strict hand-coded rules, these new AI models learn from looking at thousands and thousands of real-world examples of great visualizations. This is a massive paradigm shift. It makes the whole process way more efficient, more intuitive, and honestly accessible to pretty much everyone, not just the data experts.
So how does this all work, really? Well, to wrap our heads around it, we need a framework. And the best way to think about creating a visualization is not as one single step, but as a journey through a pipeline, a process with a few distinct stages. So let's just walk through it together.
Okay, so this pipeline has 4 main stages. First, you've got data enhancement. That's basically prepping your raw data. Then comes visual mapping, which is deciding how to show it. After that, we have stylization, which is all about making it look good and clear. And finally, you bring it all to life with interaction.
And the engine driving this whole pipeline? It's powered by 4 main types of generative AI models. Think of these as your specialized tools for different jobs. You've got sequence models, tabular models, spatial models, and graph models. And we're about to see exactly how these get used.
And boom, here's how it all fits together. This is basically our roadmap. You can see the raw data coming in on the left. It moves through those 4 stages of the pipeline we just talked about, and it's being worked on by those different AI models in the middle. And what comes out the other end? These beautiful, clear, interactive views on the right.
All right, so now let's see this pipeline in action. We're going to zoom in on each of those 4 stages and really look at what GenAI is doing under the hood. We'll start at the very beginning.
Everything kicks off with data enhancement. The easiest way to think about this is like prepping your ingredients before you start cooking. It's all about cleaning, improving, or maybe even adding to your data to make sure it's absolutely ready for visualization.
And here's a perfect example. Let's say your spreadsheet has some gaps in it, or maybe there's just not enough data to see a clear trend. Well, GNI can actually generate new synthetic data points that fit the pattern perfectly, basically filling in the blanks so the story in your data becomes way, way clearer.
Okay, once the data is prepped, we hit stage 2, visual mapping. And this is where the magic really starts to happen. It's the step where the AI looks at your data and figures out the best way to represent it visually. Should it be a bar chart, a line graph, a scatter plot? The AI makes that call for you.
And here's the crucial part. You don't have to be a data viz expert anymore. Instead of you sitting there trying to guess which chart is best, the AI can analyze your data's structure and all its relationships and then just automatically generate the code to create the most effective chart. It's amazing.
From there, we move into the stylization stage. So if visual mapping built the house, think of stylization as the interior design and the final paint job. This part is all about aesthetics, colors, fonts, layout, making the visualization not just accurate, but also engaging, memorable, and really effective at getting its message across.
And this is where things get really fun and creative. GenAI can literally take the artistic style of a famous painting and apply it to your bar chart. Or it can add these clever, context-aware decorations. Imagine a chart about coffee sales where all the little data points are tiny illustrations of coffee cups. That's the kind of thing that makes data stick in your brain.
So, the pipeline ends with the final and maybe most important stage, interaction. A static chart is one thing, but a dynamic one you can actually explore, that's a whole other level. This stage is all about bringing the visualization to life, letting you ask questions, drill down into details, and really just play with the data.
And this is a total game changer. It means you can literally have a conversation with your data. You can just type a question in plain English, like, which region had the highest sales last quarter? And the visualization will just dynamically update to show you the answer. So we've seen the 4 stages of the pipeline, and we know about the 4 types of AI models. Now let's connect those dots. Let's see which of those AI tools are the best fit for each job in the pipeline.
Which, of course, brings us to the key question, right? How do all these pieces actually fit together? Because it's not random. Certain AI models are just naturally better at specific jobs within this whole process.
And this diagram here shows that flow just beautifully. You can see how different tasks pull from different AI models. For example, just look at those wide bands coming from the sequence models. See how they flow really heavily into visual mapping and interaction? That makes total sense, because those tasks are often about generating code or understanding language, which to an AI are just sequences.
So let's break that down with some really simple examples. If you're doing data enhancement on a spreadsheet, a tabular AI model is perfect for filling in those missing cells. For visual mapping, a sequence model is great at writing the code for a chart. For stylization, a spatial model, which thinks in images, can transfer that artistic style. And for interaction, we're back to a sequence model again, because it's the best at understanding your typed questions.
Now, as absolutely incredible as all this is, the road ahead isn't perfectly smooth. This technology is super powerful, but researchers are still trying to work through some pretty significant hurdles.
There are 3 really big challenges right now. First up is evaluation. How do you even measure if a chart is good? A chart can be pretty, but also totally misleading. Teaching an AI that difference is a huge problem. Second, data sets. AI learns from examples, but we just don't have enough huge, high-quality data sets of good charts for it to learn from. And finally, there's integration. How do we get the creative, sometimes kind of unpredictable power of GenAI to play nice with the super precise, reliable tools we already know and trust?
And all of this leaves us with one last, really fascinating thought to chew on. We're moving from a world where we have to tell our tools exactly how to show us data, to a new world where AI can proactively help explain it to us visually. And as this tech gets better and better, the real question becomes, what new insights, what hidden patterns, and what incredible discoveries are we going to make when our tools can create not just pictures, but true understanding?